So we are about to go into Pro Draft again for the second match. And are we expecting sort of any bans to come out based on just that game? Because as we said, these teams haven't faced each other yet. Espresso Depresso has been in the shadows a little bit, haven't been seen a lot. So are we expecting any differences here in the ban phase?
I'm expecting, and this might be a little bit controversial, I'm expecting by TSS a Veigar ban. That Veigar wasn't able to go ahead just because his team was so far behind, but you saw more than once. Veigar was the one getting the picks with the Spooky Ghost, or Twin Shadows rather, as well as with the Hex deck. He was the one predominantly getting the picks. I think if Espresso Depresso hadn't been so far behind, that Veigar would have popped off and cleaned house.
So the set Yasuo definitely the same as before coming out. Now Vladimir and Malzahar ban, which is sort of interesting to theorycraft around because Malzahar works in a very similar way to the way you were just describing Veigar to have worked, where it's all about finding that pick, but also definitely not conventional ban, I would say, as Yuumi coming out a much more conventional ban here out of TSS.
Yeah, they did this the last game as well. They're wanting to take away a lot of these control mages, control mages from RawkZoors. Is really fearing him on it, valuing the Malzahar ban more than the Veigar ban. So they might know something I don't. They could have been playing it in scrims, which is what I'd guess. But Espresso Depresso first picking the Olaf. That's a spicy move. You can tell Jalapenos is on that team.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely coming in with the hot peppers right there. And the expected response of Jarvan IV, more powerful than Olaf in early game skirmishes, in that he is able to get AoE crowd control down. Speaking of which, Alistar hovered again, but that AoE crowd control in some sort of 2v2 with a solo laner or in a 3v3 with the bot lanes, if the junglers are involved. Jarvan in general, more powerful in the early game, especially before Olaf hits level 6 there. So definitely a good response there out of Hypoconic. And now, as I said, we see the Alistar. So probably expecting the bot lane picks to come in here from Espresso Depresso. Though the Veigar is hovered, and we were thinking like they are trying to ban out those control mages, and they did let the Veigar through TSS one more time, and so Veigar now is picked once again. Espresso Depresso having faith in RawkZoors that he can make that happen, and like you say, he did play very well on that Veigar. He's clearly able to pilot it and able to find those picks. Sejuani now coming out, so the only difference being the Olaf taken away there. So that Olaf probably now going into the top lane, I guess.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Sejuani support. In theory, it's not that bad. In theory,
there are ways you can imagine it could be good.
It does. I say this with only a little bit of trolling. It does provide a lot of utility, pretty similar to the Leona. But what it does differently than the Leona is that if you have someone that attacks quickly, like who's a melee user, like the Olaf, you actually get a lot of stuns, and I mean a lot of stuns on them. So I really like the Sejuani pick with something like an Olaf. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw another melee character besides whoever they go with for the ADC, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, almost acting like a Braum passive is that Sejuani passive in lane if you were to go with the Sejuani support. But we have seen the Olaf top already, I believe, from Espresso Depresso, so that's most likely what we're going to see. The Aatrox ban now comes in from Espresso Depresso. They are probably working towards another Ornn pick, definitely would work into this composition, and so they do go for the Aatrox ban, but you easily could see TSS take that Ornn away as they have the next available pick here. So I would expect an Ornn pick here out of TSS. I think that's probably the answer to this.
An Ornn pick would be ideal for the top laner of Espresso Depresso. He has played that matchup before, the Olaf into Ornn, and he has won that matchup actually, if I recall correctly.
So if it was Sejuani support and Olaf jungle, they could still take the Ornn and have the Aatrox banned away, which would be a crazy draft move coming into the Amateur League. By the way, we didn't say this yet. Darren, I believe you're here. Welcome back.
I am here. Thank you. Sorry, a
Hey.
little bit of technical difficulties on my computer here, so
No
had to
worries.
restart.
Uh,
Thank you for taking over. Appreciate
anyway, we actually saw a pretty surprising thing come in here, and that is Jinx alongside
excited, baby.
Varus. So is this going Varus mid?
I guess it's gotta be. I guess it's gotta be lethality Varus mid.
Yeah, which
that's-
is a thing. Like people are playing that.
Yeah, it's not too unheard of. It does make a
Yeah.
lot of sense if you have people bunched up, like for example, with it inside a Jarvan ult or hit by Alistar Pulverize. So it's so it is a little bit of thought behind it. I'm kind of surprised. We'll have to see what the final
hang on a
team
sec.
number is.
We're just getting a quick note from our producer, and this does sometimes happen with Pro Draft where it's a misclick or something like that. So the Jinx pick is actually Xerath. So that is the answer they've chosen for the Veigar.
Okay.
So not Jinx, Xerath, which a lot makes a lot more sense.
I
Although
mean,
I kind of would have liked to see that Varus mid against
either way, I do like it because where Veigar falls short is his range, and if he plays against a matchup where he's outranged and can get poked down, there's not a lot that he can do. So a lot of matchups such as the lethality Varus, the Xerath, sometimes you'll even see the Valkaz, and definitely Azir even with the poke can still poke him down and make him have to recall in crucial situations around these objectives.
Yeah, I like the Xerath pick into Veigar a lot as well. Exactly as you said, Xerath just straight up outranges him and is able to easily avoid that cage while still applying damage. So we have a confirmation of the Olaf being top as the Thresh and Kai'Sa are locked in for the bot lane. That's going to be Sejuani in the jungle. And now Urgot coming in to match the Olaf in the top lane. So definitely some spicy team compositions. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but right now we just are going to throw it to a quick break for the teams to get all locked in and for our competitive integrity delay. So we will be back in a few minutes with the game 2. Welcome back to Game 2 of Espresso Depresso versus Team Solo Simps. We have Olaf in the top lane with Ignite going up against this Urgot, and that was something we didn't get to talk about that much in that pro draft analysis there, but we do see right off the bat a quick engage coming in. If you are just joining us, Team Solo Simps did take the first game with a commanding performance, in particular by Wheelie29 on the Varus, which has been given to him once again. So VirtualBoxs and Wheelie29 on the same bot lane duo as last game with Alistar Varus, but a totally different approach here coming in from Espresso Depresso with the Kai'Sa Thresh. So we'll see exactly how that plays out, but I thought we were going to see an invade. I was really hoping we were, but we did not.
Espresso Depresso just opting for a quick NA ram at the beginning of the game. All of them just running down mid, foreshadowing what Team Soul Simp is going to want to do by the time this game is done. Real psychological warfare you see there by Espresso Depresso.
Definitely able to play Team Solo Simp's game. We did see some psychological warfare of Nautilus not buying an item, and I will never let him live that down, no matter how many games of them I cast. But yeah, we did see a little bit of a excitement there. Espresso Depresso definitely also living up to their name a little bit with I like the polarizing nature of it. I like how Espresso perks you up and Depresso gets you down. So you just never know what you're going to get from this team. And no more is that displayed than in the Olaf top from bahoutot going in and already getting that Conqueror stacked up. Ooh, he missed his axe there, so he wasn't able to get an immediate Q back on, but a lot of damage already put down onto Blitzblades on that Urgot.
Blitzblades has got to be scared in this lane right here. He's against Olaf, one of the strongest early game champions in the game. He's an Ignite down. He opted for the more standard teleport, but he's gotta be scared. Olaf can literally just run you down, and there's not a lot of counterplay you can do. Oh my goodness.
Okay, as we were saying that, suddenly the hook goes down and VirtualBoxs gets bursted out. Jolopenos able to get that last stack with that snipe there, and a beautiful hook there by Karl DR. Max range onto the Alistar. So you can see that flash still available, and VirtualBoxs is going to walk back to lane with his flash up in shame, as he could have easily escaped that if he had known to flash the Thresh hook there. So nice play by Jolopenos and Karl DR in the bot lane.
Wheelie as well, still having the heal. I guess he was kind of surprised by the Kai'Sa void or W damage. It was changed a little while ago. The damage numbers were worked around, so I guess still not used to it. But costing them the first blood there.
Plenty of shame to go around in that lane, I suppose. And there is bahoutot getting an invade down onto Hypoconic, who's wearing the double buffs, but definitely is not interested in fighting that Olaf early game. And he is joined by Kid Kirito, is bahoutot there to steal away that Raptor camp. It looks like he did get it. Yep, with the CS he's got, I think he did. And so that's a nice little counter jungle there coming in. And that's, of course, another very strong thing about Olaf, is that Olaf top lane is that he's a jungler, so he can go and take your camps.
I love bahoutot on this Olaf. He says, you know, I might not even be jungling, but your jungle is still my jungle, and just walks in with very little repercussions. You know, coordinated with the Kid Kirito on the Sejuani, really smart, able to take those camps away. I'm expecting quite a bit of that. This Hypoconic's gonna have to be pretty scared whenever he goes into his topside jungle if he doesn't see the bahoutot there.
Yeah, definitely. Now here comes another engage for VirtualBoxs. Actually, Karl DR is forced to flash here, as they also did see Hypoconic wandering into the lane there on that Jarvan. So good job of Karl DR to flash. Maybe VirtualBoxs could learn a thing or two from that. And they are now down in health. So another advantage, an advantage still sort of looking towards the Espresso Depresso side. In that situation, with Karl DR getting out of that one.
Do you want to take note of Jalapenos on Espresso Depresso hasn't backed yet to get the tier, which is what you often see. But as I'm saying that,
oh, the last tick of damage, and you've got to kill him before level 6, so that's exactly what Blitzblades will do. Now VirtualBoxs is getting caught out once again. Use your flash, buddy. he actually didn't have it, and the Hex Flash not available, so they will manage to take that down. Unfortunately, it was finished off by Karl DR, but a nice gank still coming in from Kid Kirito there to pick up that kill on VirtualBoxs. And the heal blown there from Wheelie to no avail. So more advantages gained. A 10 CS lead here, and a kill, 2 kills up in this bot lane.
You now expect Kid Kirito to come back. Alistar without his sums is really hard pressed to play aggressive, or even like form any form of pressure in the bottom lane.
Play the game at all, yeah.
Yeah. So Wheelie either going to have to be okay with giving up a lot of CS now that Kai'Sa is so far ahead, or risk the Sejuani coming right back into lane and ruining their day.
Yeah, definitely. So a really nice play, and like you say, we would really love to see a repeat gank there. Now, Blitzblade's definitely getting the better of the trades generally in this lane, especially being able to control this wave, so he's got some minions supporting him, and we've already seen what minions can do to Olaf in the early game, as that was how Ornn got that solo kill last game, as it were. But bahoutot, another thing about Olaf is that he's perfectly fine to farm with Q as long as he's not under too much pressure. And now he's a little further away from his turret. Blitzblades has a nice freeze going on here, and he's able to apply some pressure. But bahoutot, lots of damage from those Qs, and we'll see if he can keep applying that. He is still in the lead in CS. Looking over to the mid lane, just even, and nothing to speak of there. But here's the Ignite actually coming down. RawkZoors has roamed down. He's going to go with the Q just to take him down, and yeah, really nice play there. Did he use his ultimate? Actually, yeah, it was his ultimate to take down Blitzblades there.
That was very well played by bahoutot that whole lane phase. You know, he saw that he wasn't able to get the 1v1 kill, and you saw he used 2 corrupting potions just in lane phase before the Veigar even got there, and he only healed about 100 HP. That was all for mana because he kept wanting to spam the Q out. He wanted to get Blitzblade low because he knew the roam was coming. Just a really smart heads up play by bahoutot.
Yeah, definitely. Good job there. And yeah, a nice roam. Not detected at all by TSS was that roam by RawkZoors. so he was able to finish off that kill and get that Veigar snowballing. And it's good that he's been able to keep even in farm with the Xerath, who does have the potential to poke him out of lane. But he is doing just fine there, and now a kill up, he's going to be very powerful indeed in this early to mid game. Now we do see a couple of plates down going for this Urgot, and as well, a nice push coming in from the bot lane of Espresso Depresso, using that early game lead to gain control of the wave and to get some nice double stacked minion waves onto that tower and deny some CS from Wheelie.
Yeah, you saw Hypoconic posturing there what looked like for a gank, but as I say that, Hakuo going in is going to definitely win this. Olaf at level 6 is going to do a lot of damage. No mana.
No, yeah. The Q comes in. Yeah, good job there, and that's exactly what you were talking about, the scariness of Olaf in the solo lane there. He's just so strong early game. So
he just runs at you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what else you got to do? You just click on him, and your character goes and kills him. So a nice play there by bahoutot. And if there are any Tagalog speakers in the house, go ahead and just say in chat what that means. We've had some discussion about it, and we've had some debate. So you go ahead. You go ahead and tell us what it means, chat. Kid Kirito now clearing out this ward here. And he is perhaps looking to gain control of Rift Herald here, but not going to do that just yet, as Hypoconic was waiting in the wings there as well.
I do want to say, good job keeping up with CS for RawkZoors. He's even got a roam off, and he's only about a wave down on farm, on top of being at a very large range disadvantage.
Yeah, he's about to finish this wave off as well, so yeah. Oh,
yeah. Very good job just farming, keeping it safe. Hasn't had to concede any CS or hasn't postured so aggressively bad that he's been ganked by a jungle. Good job by RawkZoors. You'll see as he scales the late game, going to be more useful than the Xerath with the utility of the cage, with all the other items he's building as well, on top of the damage. So kind of a ticking time bomb in the mid lane for Espresso Depresso.
Yeah, really got to be scary for TSS that he was able to get that roam off very successfully. Now, Espresso Depresso going to use their lane advantages to gain control of the Dragon Pit and take down that first Cloud Drake there. A little extra cooldown reduction coming in from that, and so they are going to take that down and go right back to their lanes. And yeah, like you said, able to maintain good positions in lanes. Jolopenos well ahead in farm there on the Kai'sa, and also has completed that mana mune, so going to be stacking up that mana. Kang's favorite item there, and about a little bit over 20 CS ahead on that on that Kai'sa, so that's really impressive, especially against something like a Varus, who is such a lane powerhouse.
Early game, the opposite story of last game, completely dominated by Espresso Depresso, in thanks part to this Olaf, which is now going in. He's just running at him.
No, yeah, no chance for Blitzblades to take him down. Not even close, baby, as Olaf, no problem dueling him out, and there's a threat of that every time Blitzblades comes to lane. Of course, the Flash Ignite was used in that case, but he's going to need help there from the Jarvan. Now that he has ultimate available, Jarvan can't even lock him down that well, only able to use his ultimate to do so, and it's a little bit of a you're trapped in here with me type of situation if Jarvan ults in on the Olaf, even if Urgot is in there as well. VirtualBoxs is now engaging here. Gonna get that stun off down onto Karl DR. Ooh, the hook coming down, and he has to flash away. Hypoconic comes in. Hypoconic taking a lot of damage, actually. Jolopenos going in and misses the Q. Now the Xerath has ulted in. Now will Karl DR be able to dodge. Flashes away as well. Beautiful. Flashes his mastery in addition. Just insult to injury in that case. So Espresso Depresso manages to evade that gank.
Super well played by the bot lane of Espresso Depresso. You saw there, they probably would have turned it and got at least a double kill. As I'm saying that.
RawkZoors, okay, so he has teleported in and he's going for wheelie. Yeah, there's going to be no problem taking him out here. There's the ultimate coming in. Yeah, that's about almost half his HP with one spell. Okay, so there's Veigar for you, as he did have that GLP completed, so he was able to slow them both down, was able to be patient and not have to settle for going for the Alistar, so nice play there.
Can someone remind RawkZoors it's about 12 minutes into the game and he's not supposed to be one-shotting people yet? That was kind of just absurd. But as I was saying earlier, really well played by Espresso Depresso's bot lane. You saw they probably would have gone at least a double kill had the Xerath ult not come down.
Oh, here's the GLP coming in again. Really low cooldown on that. And oh, the flash has to come up from the Xerath. Really nice play there by RawkZoors to bait that out. Sorry, keep going about the bot lane.
Yeah, sorry. You saw, but even then, Kira able to dodge 2 skill shots, which would have killed him in 1 quick juke, and then of course the mastery for the BM. You saw afterwards, a lot of the strength of the Veigar was he got the TP, and then he was able to slow them down with the Hextech, so he didn't even have to like fully one-shot them. He just got the slow off. He ended up being able to throw out 2 Qs. He ended up missing one, which wasn't too big of a deal. But on top of that, he got the extra assists for the Kai'Sa, so he's adding more gold to his team on top of that. This Veigar really showing its work this game with the utility.
Yeah, you can see, even though it wasn't successful last game, you can absolutely see exactly why they are prioritizing it here for RawkZoors. Making a huge difference already, 2-0 with that, and yet to getting the assists as well on Jolopenos there, really nicely done there. As now, yeah, we have to see what TSS is going to do about this, because now a very serious early game lead coming in for Espresso Depresso, and they are the ones who outscale in this situation as well. So they will be stronger late game, and so TSS really needs to make some very decisive moves here and able to regain control of this game before it totally slips away from them. Oh, here's the engage coming from VirtualBoxs. Now Wheelie goes in with the ultimate. Wheelie gets hooked up though. Jolopenos doing a lot of damage. Wheelie not able to apply enough damage. Jolopenos not even barely half HP, and VirtualBoxs has now used his ultimate. He goes back in, and he's actually trying to do enough damage. The ignite comes down on Jolopenos. Will the Xerath ultimate be able to finish him off? No. The VirtualBoxs goes down, but the teleport has come in. Meanwhile, there's a fight coming in onto the Xerath, but Blitzblades cleaning up here, gets a lot of the damage down. Karl DR uses his stopwatch for absolutely no reason at all and goes down as well. So a nice teleport play there by Blitzblades to clean that up and at least save a little bit for TSS there.
They did save a little bit, but now it ended up being 2 for 2 in the end on top of the teleport burn from Blitzblade. But in response, that's going to be top tower and mid tower going down. There was really dumb fight to take by the bot lane of Team Solo Simp. Kai'Sa had her man immune at the time, I believe, and there's no way you can lock down a Kai'Sa with only an Alistar Varus. Even all the Kai'Sa needs is a CC on someone else, and she can ult across the fight. And you saw it there. Yeah, they blew the cooldowns on the Kai'Sa, but she was able to, just ult immediately onto Wheelie and then just 100 to 0 him, Assassin Kai'Sa style. So really questionable fight taking there, but and that's gonna cost their team huge. They gave up 2 TP, 2 towers on top of an ocean drive. They've almost just dug themselves into a bigger hole now.
Yeah, Jolopenos already had that man immune and pickaxe completed there, so way ahead of the Varus in terms of items. Now Karl DR getting very aggressive here. They're going to be able to take down all 3 towers before almost any damage at all is applied to any of their tier 1 towers. So huge plays here already coming in from Espresso Depresso. And yeah, beautifully done there by them. So they are really looking primed to take us to a game 3 in this series, as you see bahoutot going in and Blitzblade's just tickling him right there. But that Olaf ain't laughing. He is definitely just running him down and auto-attacking, and that's just been the story of this top lane the whole time. Olaf counters Urgot hard, as you can see. Ooh, a really nice play here. VirtualBoxs uses the ultimate to get out of it. Now he's going to go in and actually try to do some crowd control here. The Xerath ultimate comes down, but they just don't do enough damage at all. RawkZoors does end up expending the ultimate. But yeah, I don't know why VirtualBoxs did that. I think he probably could have gotten out there, but that was... I guess they want to make these decisive plays. As speaking of which, Revivination's going to go down. Actually, Karl DR spams his mastery just as he finally goes down. And they do manage to take down Revivination. They will take that all day long. But the Thresh does finally go down. So that comes back. But if you spam the mastery emote right before you die, it doesn't even count as a death. I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually a very little known fact that support is the highest APM role just because everyone that plays support is really BM and just spams their mastery whenever possible.
Yeah.
And you really saw the experience coming through with Karl there, being able to spam it right before he dies. Really heads up play, shows how good he is on this champion.
Yeah,
fast,
not only
fast
that,
fingers right there.
Yeah, not only that, but flashing mastery 7 actually does 20 mental damage in a 1,000 radius.
I like how you paused as if you had to like quickly check that. Like, okay, so hang on. What are the patch notes? Oh yeah, 20. Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely, yeah. The stats master Kang coming in.
Yeah.
With the numbers, with the most recently updated numbers on how much mental damage really can do with the Mastery 7 emote. Mastery 6, it goes down quite significantly. I think it's only 10 in that case. So.
Yeah, half damage, not worth it. At that
So
point,
anyway.
he was spamming emote.
Clearly, he deserved that assist that he got there on Revivination's kill as the Herald is about to go down. And, you know, we joke, but this is a serious series, man. This is the top 2 teams currently. They are tied for #1. And I like how close this is. I like not this game in particular is pretty far in the lead for Espresso Depresso, but it looks like we're primed for a game 3, and this is going to be one of the highlight games for sure. As we said, one of the pivotal games for this league as we see the 2 Titans clash in this best of 3 here. So now 2 dragons have been taken by Espresso Depresso. And it looks like Mountain Rift has arrived, and so the Mountain Soul definitely exactly what you want against Xerath. So that is pretty nice to see if you are a fan of Espresso Depresso.
I really want to just talk about both the carries on top. Oh, and as I'm saying that, it looks like Blitzblade is going to be going down again.
Might be going down again. He's got a lot of damage. If it's not Olaf there, he does something. But now 3 on 1. He's not equipped to deal with that.
Yeah. So I was saying both the carries on Espresso Depresso are super far ahead, but on top of that, both of them can play very safe if they want to. You see the Veigar, he's got on top of his potential 5-man stun of his cage, he's now got 2 different items that can both be used offensively and defensively to protect himself. Kai'Sa has her ult on top of the stopwatch, as well as you can see the Knight's Vow on the Thresh. It's going to be really hard to kill either of these carries. Team Solo Simp is going to have to make some really heads-up play to try to get them unawares.
Yeah, speaking of which, here is the engage from VirtualBoxs. It's actually really nice damage. Goes down onto Kid Kirito. More damage going down onto the jungler. The Jarvan there, Hypoconic, taking a lot there as well. But a good engage there. It looked like they might be able to take down Karl DR. They do blow his flash, but that's much better there from TSS. But has Blitzblade stayed too long? So much damage taken down from him. The hook now comes down onto VirtualBoxs, and he has to get away from that, but he's not going to be able to. Meanwhile, Rift Herald has come up on top lane, and bahoutot is just fan mode, running around the base doing whatever the hell he wants. And that inhibitor, oh, actually the Xerath does punish him a little bit for that, and it looks like that inhibitor may stay alive in the bot lane. So bahoutot actually quite an overextension there. He should have taken down that inhibitor instead. But did manage to get a kill, did manage to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies, and also did manage to gain the map control needed to secure this 3rd dragon.
Still a huge win for Espresso Depresso. Now with Baron coming up, when you have a extremely strong Kai'Sa like this, she's gonna shred it this early in the game, and you can just put the Olaf top lane. And even if Olaf doesn't have the TP, it doesn't really matter because Olaf will take the base so quickly that even if Team Solo Simp tries to force a fight at Baron, you just lose the game. This is a great position for Espresso Depresso to be in. They're exactly where they want to be. It's just a matter of will they botch the execution of this final Baron fight.
Yeah, and like you said before, that Ignite on Olaf, it's taken for a very specific goal, and you really have to accomplish that goal. You've got to win lane if you've got that Ignite, because otherwise you get totally destroyed late game by the teleport differential. Well, in this game, bahoutot does not need teleport, like you said. No matter where he is on the map, he can make something happen. He is just that strong. and that's what he was able to get from taking that Ignite in lane. So a nice play by him, a risk, but definitely paid off, and he had faith in his play on Olaf there. So like you said, Baron has come up, and Kid Kirito is taking red buff here, not ready to position for it here, and Karl DR may be caught out here. So he is going to take a lot of damage. VirtualBoxs now there, but maybe VirtualBoxs, who's caught out, actually has to use his flash, and VirtualBoxs is just having to flash away, having to flash defensively so often, and it's just not the position you want to be in as an Alistar.
Yeah, more than any other champion, or almost any other champion, Alistar loves those flash engages. Not having it, especially when you're so behind and you need to find these engages, is super, super critical for him.
Yeah, so we do see now posturing for another fight. That turret, almost impossible to defend at this point, so they're going to take down that Espresso Depresso, and will they continue on, or will they go back to Baron? Looks like for now they're going to continue the push, although I think they realize that wave clear from Xerath and Varus, too much for them to handle without the Baron buff. And so they're going to look for a little bit of a death push here. Here comes the hook, and VirtualBoxs not going to fall for that. So he does, they do get very careful with that, and no face checking coming in from TSS here.
Pings do go down onto Baron now. They didn't clear out the pit before that, so there wasn't really too much of a threat that TSS was going to fall for that. There is a ward on it. No pink wards. Sweeper does come down, but it looks like they're definitely going to try to contest this one. They should anyway.
They are moving in, but it's, so, like you said, so fast with the Kai'Sa, and they don't even make it. They were moving sort of slowly. You could see their team converging onto the Baron, but not even close to getting there in time. And so really underestimating the damage of that Kai'Sa, as well as actually Veigar. At this point in the game, having stacked up all that ability power, he definitely does a lot of damage to that Baron if he's spamming out those Qs. 5-0-2 now is RawkZoors on this Veigar. Once again, we're seeing exactly why that champion was picked for him, as well as 6-1-3 on the Kai'Sa. Jolopenos living up to his selection as our player to watch this week for Espresso Depresso. So can Wheelie do the same?
The item builds on Espresso Depresso are really interesting. They've been in both games. Both the jungler and the support put a huge amount of emphasis on the utility. We saw the Knight's Vow rush in both game 1 and 2 from Kid Kirito going on to the RawkZoom, as well as the Knight's Vow rush from Karl. Now you see he's even picked up the Mikhail's second. The name of the game right now is just keep jalapenos, keep RawkZoom alive, and you'll win the game just by sheer stats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, both Knight's Vows. That's a good shout. Definitely such a nice idea for enabling this Kai'Sa to do exactly as much damage and and survive as long as possible. So now Demolish stacks potentially coming back in the cage around the tower. Not going to do much. Here's the engage though. VirtualBoxs 3-man knockup. Now here comes the arrow coming in from Varus. Lots of damage, fighting, spreading out all across the map. But Wheelie now has taken down bahoutot, and actually it looks like TSS may be coming out ahead in this fight. Yeah, they do. They get 2 for 1 here, so really nice engage there, and some life still left in TSS.
Yeah, that was very... when I said earlier, all they have to do is make sure not to botch the execution. They didn't quite botch it, but that was about as close as you can get to botching it without actually completely killing it. You saw at the beginning of the fight, the camera wasn't pointed at, so we're not sure what exactly happened, but both jalapenos and RawkZoors were both like 30% HP to start that fight. You cannot be in that position. It was likely they were trying to get a pick, but they don't need to get a pick. They can just slow and methodical. They have the Baron buff. Dragon Soul is going to be coming up soon. They'll get that. They can just play it as slow as they want. Get the mid lane. Put Olaf in the position where he can threaten one of the side lanes, and it should be easy from there. If you're a fan of Espresso Depresso, hopefully they'll be playing it slow from now on. But a little bit of overconfidence that was shown there. Not looking great.
Yeah, and I like how VirtualBoxs, even though he has been stymied a bunch of times on this Alistar, still finding the courage, finding the confidence to go in and to engage exactly what you need to do as Alistar. And in that case, taking advantage of, as you say, a little bit of an overextension there by Espresso Depresso, manages to get ahead in that fight. But not ahead enough to defend this inhibitor on the second push around. So that Mountain Soul has been picked up by Espresso Depresso, a huge buff there. Mountain Soul, very, very frustrating to play against in this situation, as any situation. And especially with someone like Olaf, who is running in, trying to survive all the damage, because the only thing you can do to Olaf when he's in his ult is kill him. And with a Mountain Soul, that's a lot harder to do. So we're really going to have to keep an eye on bahoutot there in these team fights now. Now the top lane push.
You said it earlier as well. It's really, really good against the Xerath. You saw it there. It just ate up a huge chunk of Xerath. Kai'sa should be at half HP right now. Yeah. With the Mountain Soul able to protect her. Really, really strong against poke as well. So it's going to be a huge, huge issue. They're not going to be able to clear these waves as well, because the Espresso Depresso can posture so aggressively without Kirito taking initial damage.
Yep, so they are going to push in. The ultimate actually does come out from Varus, but not willing to engage yet, RTSS. They just did that to clear the waves, and the wave clear is pretty effective on these champions, but as you can see, Revivination is out of mana, and so he's going to have to go back as Wheelie as well, having to defend the Nexus turrets against these super minions coming in from 2 lanes at once. It's so hard to imagine exactly what TSS is supposed to do in this situation.
Yeah, and Espresso Depresso playing it so well. They burned the Varus ult. They said, you know, we don't need to fight this. We can go back, get the tower, fight them on the next wave. See Blitzblade going down.
Blitzblades goes down. Revivination now goes down as well. VirtualBoxs has come in. He's taking down bahoutot. Now goes down. VirtualBoxs, though, taking a lot of damage. Double kill comes in from Hypoconic as he is fighting valiantly, but Demacia will not stand this time. And Jarvan IV finally goes down. That is going to be the game, unless if Wheelie can pull off some sort of miracle. Here's Karl DR, does get the flash hook in, now goes in for the play. Thresh goes in for the final kill. That is well deserved. All those mastery spams paying off. That final tick of damage. And we are going to game 2 between Espresso Depresso and TSS. Such a nice play there at the end.